Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about some people. Listen, I'm going to say this about Lil Nas X. I'm not someone who goes and runs to listen to his music. I'm not. I'm just going to be honest. I was someone who was in support of him just because I felt like he was receiving unnecessary backlash and people was acting like they didn't know why. Not to go backwards, but you know the whole video with the devil dancing and girl, we gonna call a thing a thing. The girl's been telling us we gonna go to HELL since we was little boys and little girls. Now all of a sudden, girl, he makes a video and he down where y'all say we gonna end up anyways, and the girls are outraged. So you know how the people say I root for everyone black. Well, some of y'all mean just the straight ones. But I was in support of him because I understood what was going on. The video wasn't bad to me. He's received a lot of backlash over the last few weeks because I haven't even watched the video. Long story short, girl, I guess the people are saying that he's making a mockery out of Jesus, God, religion, the Virgin Mary, all that stuff. And I'm going to be honest. The first part of me looks at it like this. While I know there are people out there who are really offended and upset, I do believe that. I also believe that there is a large group of folk out there who already don't like the girls, already don't like the punks anyways, and they're using this as a way to cover up the fact that they're probably homophobic, to say that this is the reason why they don't like Lil Nas X. No, you just don't like Lil Nas X because, girl, he's a punk. The rappers don't like Lil Nas X because they feel as though, girl, this punk has now come into our world. So when I see some of the girls and boys, what's his name? Hurricane Chris? Tornado Chris? One of the rappers? I'm like, girl, this is no shade. A lot of the people out there, girl, y'all know 3-4 scriptures. And those were the scriptures that your grandmama taught you when you was a little boy or a little girl. You ain't been to church and God knows when. You don't pray. You don't read the Bible. Ain't nothing religious about you. Girl, girl, ain't nothing spiritual about you. But now all of a sudden, girl, y'all are just so tied up in the knot and upset that Lil Nas X is out here pulling stunts and shows. No. Girl, you not gonna play by my Jesus. You not gonna play by my Jesus. Girl, do you even know how to spell Jesus' name? When was the last time you really called on Jesus? When was the last time you went down and said a prayer? When was the last time you went to church? Y'all play about Jesus every day. If we're going to be honest about it. Lil Boosie down to the internet acting a fool. Like he got any room to talk. On the flip side, Lil Nas X, as someone who is your big sister, as someone who's your big brother, I have to say, and no, I have not watched the video, I've seen clips. Sister girl, it does come across as if you feel the only way I can sell my music is to pull a stunt in a show. The only way I can get people to listen to me is I have to do some type of gimmick. I think Lil Nas X is stuck into, remember when Lady Gaga first hit the scene? And I do feel like Lady Gaga was being authentic. I do. But at one point, it started to get real gimmicky. And it started to get very much, girl, she just gonna pull a stunt in a show just to pull a stunt in a show. And I feel like that's where Lil Nas X is stuck. And I'm not upset at what he's doing. I don't really care. But what I am saying is it looks like to me, the only way you feel like you might be able to sell a record or two is to do something where you feel like it kind of pushes the envelope. It kind of pushes the line. Instead of just coming out with your music because you're just a good artist. Does he believe that he's good enough to just sell music and not have to do all this extra and pull stunts and shows? Does he feel like maybe he doesn't have a solid enough fan base? I don't know. I think there are people out there who think, like I said, I think there are people out there who are really upset and offended. And I believe it. I also think there are people out there who really don't give a damn. They just don't like gays. And they're using this as a cover up to act like they're outraged, but you really just don't like him because he is a punk. And then I think there are people out there like me who just don't give a damn. But girl, we also know a stunt in a show when we see a stunt in a show. You know? That's all I really had to say about Lil Nas X. I wish him the best. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's successful. I hope his album does great. But girl, okay. So listen to this. Tristan Thompson suspended for 25 games without pay after testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. So neighbors, get into this. Trifling Tristan is adding to his resume of dirty deeds, child. Thomas has been suspended for 25 games without pay after he tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. According to the NBA, Tristan violated the league's anti-drug policy by testing positive. Girl, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. Girl. And SARM-LGD 433. And then also known, the other drug is also known as MK677. Basically, it increases lean body mass. The SARM-LGD 4033 is also known as, okay, increases muscle mass, reduces body fat, improves strength and endurance, as well as reduces inflammation. The suspension will start immediately. He will not return until the 23-24 game season is almost done. Child, I hope Tristan was saving his money. He has a lot of mouths to feed and a lot of child support to pay too, okay? I mean, girl, I guess. Tristan is getting older. How old is Tristan? I know in the real world he's not considered old, but to me, athlete world and real world are two different ages. Okay? Tristan is 32 years old. For some people, that's not old. Yeah, it's like I said, that's not old, but to me, it's like an athlete old and like a real world old. In the real world, 32 really not that old. But girl, to me, to be running up and down the court, especially if you play football. Now, if you play football, 32 is damn near 105 in dog years. Okay? I don't know what Tristan gonna do because girl, you a mess. You just a mess all around. Girl, you really are. Girl, you just a complete hot mess all around. You just can't never get it together. It's a mess. Girl, I wonder if Chloe gonna slide him a couple of dollars. You know she the fool to do it. Anyways, y'all. So listen to this, girl. YFN Lucci. Ain't that Regine's old boyfriend, ex-boyfriend? Sentenced to 20 years in prison. Girl, oh my goodness. YFN Lucci sentenced to 20 years in prison after taking a plea deal. Must serve 10 years in the slammer and 10 on probation. Girl. And quiet as it's kept, I'm just gonna go ahead and just put it out there, girl. You know these niggas can't never act right when they get out of prison. It's low key a setup. I'm just gonna be honest. It's low key a setup because they know in a way it's low key a setup, but it's also they also know that y'all niggas ain't gonna do right, girl. So we're gonna give you 10 years in the slammer. Then we're going to give you 10 years probation. And we know you got to follow, girl, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And we know you're not going to follow A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Girl, you're going to do A, you're going to go to D, and then we're going to lock your ass up again. Girl, and you're going to be right back, girl, in the slammer. All right. So Neighbors YFN Lucci has finally learned his fate after pleading guilty to one count of a violation of the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. He will have to serve 20 years. Oh, girl. That's why I said I'm glad I stay on the sidewalk. Girl, you know, the street light ain't for everybody, and everybody is me, okay? I don't want no parts of it. Girl, they locking y'all asses up, okay? But y'all niggas is going to jail, okay? Y'all keep playing with these people. Girl, they keep locking y'all asses up, and y'all still ain't learning y'all lesson. As part of the negotiated plea, YFN Lucci, real name Rashawn Bennett, was sentenced to a 20-year sentence with 10 years to serve. That means that he has 10 years to serve in prison, followed by 10 years of probation. The judge granted him time served, which began on January the 13th, 2021, when he first surrendered for RICO charges in Fulton County. Oh, girl, I didn't know he was in jail since 2021. So he already knocked out basically 2 years. Oh, he got his 8 years. Oh, good. Nothing. For the girls who don't do jail, shout out to all the girls who've been to jail and prison. Shout out to y'all. But for the girls who don't do jail or prison, and I'm the girl, 8 years is still, girl, 85. Girl, you might as well just give me life. I was like, 8 years? Girl, no. Girl, 8 years? That's still a long time. Y'all already know the story. I had a whole bunch of tickets. You know, at one point I was living my life real dirty and no insurance, no girl, no just everything, no registrations, nothing. Girl, just riding dirty. And girl, I had a whole bunch of tickets, traffic tickets, and everything is situated now. But I remember at one point I was like, girl, I just gotta get these tickets, girl. You know what I'm saying? And one of my friends who worked, I haven't talked to her. One of my old coworkers, she ended up getting a new job for the city. She was telling me how if you sometimes go to the courthouse that or to the jail or whatever, sometimes they have these specials where they might do like a 3 for 1, or was it like 3 for 1, 2 for 1? Basically, like if you do one day, if you sit down for one day in jail, they'll say you serve 3 days, but you don't know until you get down there. So, girl, you might not know. Like, I wouldn't know how many days I really have to sit out these tickets until I got there. So, if they told me I had 3 months, girl, I would be in there. If they ain't got the special going, girl, if they ain't got the girl Popeyes 99-cent special, girl, I was so mad when they increased that Popeyes chicken to 99 cents. They used to give me buy back in the day, girl. I think the chicken now like $2.99, $3.99. Girl, you might as well go ahead and get you a combo at that price. Anyways, I was like, I can't do it because I don't know how many tickets I have. I know it's a lot, okay? And I don't know if them people gonna tell me. If I get down there and they tell me, oh, girl, this is about 3 weeks worth of tickets, and girl, we ain't got no special. You gotta be in the jail for 3 weeks, girl. I'm gonna throw my body onto the ground. So I said, girl, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I had to start working a little bit of overtime, girl. Okay, selling fish plates. Girl, I'm not going to jail. I'm not doing. Girl, if it take me 10 years to pay these tickets off, it's just gonna take me 10 years. I'm not going to that jailhouse. Not me. Girl, I got too much ass and thighs to be at the jailhouse. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not doing it. Anyways, so Lucci was facing multiple charges, including felony, MURD. Okay. Before his sentencing, Lucci publicly apologized to the victim's family as well as his own family. Thoughts? Yeah. Listen, I don't think it's right and it's not okay. And I don't think anyone should do it, especially when you are basically, what's the word I'm looking for? When you are infecting your community, girl, with drugs, crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I understand people who. I understand how in certain situations, girl, if your back is against the wall and you ain't got nothing, and girl, you don't know where your next meal gonna come from, you don't know where you gonna sleep the next day. I'm not saying it's right, but I could see how someone who just doesn't know what's gonna happen the next day, how they could get involved in a life of crime. You know what I'm saying? Um, but girl, the things I don't understand are these rappers, right? Like, girl, y'all got a couple of dollars. Now I think y'all a couple of dollars y'all be wanting to put on for the people, like y'all got like $1 billion instead of just using what you got. You know what I'm saying? You get a little taste of money and you want more and more and more, and the money is not coming fast as you want it to come. So you still probably were already in that life prior to your record deal, and you still can't leave that life. And another thing too, what I always say, girl, the girls want to get into that street life, not realizing that, girl, you might get out, but the people ain't gonna let you out. Okay? I don't know, girl. I don't know nothing about the street life. Girl, I don't want no parts of it. I don't need to know. Don't you ain't gotta get in the comment section. Explain to me about the street life because I don't care. I ain't gonna never be no. Shout out to YFN Lucci, girl. Y'all think I almost said something real messy. Oh, I caught myself. Oh, I caught myself. Let me shut up. I almost said something real messy. I did. I did. Ooh. Girl, speaking of somebody, girl, listen to this. British Williams ex Lorenzo Gordon indicted for allegedly falsifying PPP paperwork. And the PPP loans had y'all hoes in a chokehold. Do you hear me? Even though, girl, did y'all read that a while ago? The girls and boys, girl, you know I was a little bit pissed off. You know, trying to live my life the right way. Okay, girl, you know they said the girls and boys who took out PPP loans that were 30,000 or below, girl, like they basically forgave them. Basically, girl, you got a free thousand. From what I understand, they got a free thousand. Whatever they got, $30,000 or below, they got some free money. Girl, on some real stuff, girl, they basically said, girl, we're not worried about y'all. Even though whatever that money that they gave out, it adds, right? But girl, you got the girls out here who was taking out millions and girl, millions of dollars. Them the girls who about to go to jail. The girl who probably took out 5,000, 10,000, you was all right. You was probably all right to begin with, okay? But the other girls who was out here, girl, taking out hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, oh, they was looking for y'all. They was calling y'all grandmama house acting like a bill collector. Talking about have you heard have you seen British? This is just a bill collector. Girl, it was the FBI. It was the government looking for your ass because they're trying to girl because they also been looking at y'all Instagram pages and they trying to figure out how in the hell because we looking at your taxes already. Girl, we looking at your taxes and your taxes say, girl, you bring in $65,000 a year. But girl, you also over there living, girl, in downtown LA, at the top of a building. And girl, the building, and we look up how much some condos cost. I'm just running my mouth and making up some shit, y'all. I'm not saying this is anybody's, story, but I'm just being messy, basically. Girl, we also, girl, we done looked up your taxes, and girl, they say you filed taxes for $65,000, and then we also looked up where you stay because girl, your ass on Instagram, girl, flossing like you paying for this shit for real. And girl, we saw that your condo, girl, the condo you have starts at 2.9. So we trying to figure out how you afford a 2.9 condo, but you only bringing in $65,000. Oh God! Oh my God, girl! Oh, girl, just scamming and dumb, scamming and online, scamming and getting on reality TV shows. I will never understand it, girl. And the girls is looking at y'all. That's how they call Apollo and Phaedra. But that's how they call Apollo. Okay, that's how they call Jen Shaw. Baby, the girls are watching the reality TV shows. Y'all think it's just us watching reality TV shows being messy. These girls and boys are watching the reality TV shows. Girl, they looking at y'all Instagram accounts. They putting one and one together, and they coming out, girl, with 99, and they trying to figure out, girl, how are we coming up with 1 plus 1, but it's coming up to be 99? Somebody's lying. The math is not mathing. Anyways, girl. So Lorenzo Gordon is reportedly accused of wire fraud and government theft and is now facing jail time of his own. According to reports, federal prosecutors claim that 40-year-old Lorenzo Gordon falsified PPP paperwork during the COVID-19 pandemic. Allegedly, the former professional baseball player lied about the details of 2 businesses he owned, including how long he operated them, how much revenue they brought in, and whether or not he was a sole owner. Prosecutors reported that Gordon allegedly received around $273,000, not 10, not 10,000, not 5,000, not 20, not 30. Girl, $273,000 in illegal loan funds based on the distorted paperwork. He is reportedly charged with 3 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of theft of government property. Gordon's indictment comes months after his ex-fiancee and reality TV star British Williams. You know, girl, I don't give a damn what nobody got to say. Girl. I know sometimes you don't know what I don't know if British and Lorenzo was still together in 2001 or whenever this happened. I don't know, but it'd be hard for me to believe. I know this is not the case for every situation. Some situations, girl, these men and women will pull a fast one on you, and you think you married to somebody or know somebody and you don't know them at all. But I'm sorry, I just be thinking like, girl, they probably would. Do y'all think that when British and Lorenzo were together, they was probably also still pulling stunts and shows? It's just hard for me to like y'all be married in relationships with these people and y'all don't know what's going on. Like it's hard for me to believe that Phaedra didn't know what Apollo was doing. It's hard for me to believe that and this is another thing too. It's one thing when you come into a situation and the lifestyle is already established. Like Erica Jane. Erica Jane came into that lifestyle. Tom already had all that shit. Erica was just a hoe that Tom picked up from the host roll and placed her in that house. She was a third wife in that house. Tom had already had all that shit. Now, do I believe at one point Erica probably was like, girl, we sure live good. You making that much money down at the office? I don't know. Right? It's another thing when you're like a Coach Shaw and Jen Shaw when y'all met in college and y'all done went through it together and now your wife got this lifestyle and you like, I didn't know. He didn't know because the FBI ain't never came after Coach Shaw. If he had something to do with it, they definitely would have said something. Again, I'm assuming Phaedra didn't have nothing to do with it either because Phaedra would have been in jail too. But it's just hard for me to believe that girl that just ain't. Like, I don't know. I know I just said what I said about if they had something to do with it, the girl, they would probably be in jail too. But it's like, girl, how y'all be married? How y'all be in these marriages? And y'all don't know what's going on. How y'all be in these relationships and y'all be like, I didn't know. So where you thought the money was coming from? Because Apollo ain't had no job. But he on TV talking about spending $5,000 to $8,000 at the strip club. Jen Shaw couldn't even explain what she did down to the reunion. And she got, girl, 15 assistants. You ain't never asked no questions, Coach Shaw? I know I just went off on a little rant. Anyways, Gordon's indictment comes months after his ex-fiancee and reality TV star British Williams was sentenced to 4 years in prison on fraud charges of her own. They was probably over there, girl, Bunny and Clyde together at one point. And then they broke up and they probably were just doing their own thing. The Basketball Wives cast member pled guilty to 5 charges back in May. Y'all already know what happened with British. At this time, it's unclear whether or not Gordon has been detained by authorities. Williams, on the other hand, was arrested by warrant in order to begin her lengthy sentence earlier this month after failing to report to jail on her scheduled day. Girl, I guess, honey. Shout out to Lorenzo. Shout out to British. Shout out to Tristan Thompson. Shout out to Lil Nas X. I don't know. Anyways, y'all, I'm gone. I need to give me something to eat. I need to go to the store. I'll talk to y'all guys later. Bye, y'all.